price is reasonable as well, 164,995,
You know what
inclusive
I really
of tax. Right.
So if somebody likes a wood look, there's that look. But then if you want,
a glass, definitely
so
you
there are
have
options
this.
available
Yes,
to you. Tons
many
of
options. All right, so let's take you over to our refrigerator. Right there. All right, so here we have our 18 cubic for 126,995. Big space for a family, right? So very nice refrigerator. On sale, anybody can just run on down and come and get this one. Also, we have our Frigidaire 18.9. Very lovely, side by side.
That cannot be the price for this.
Definitely
No,
the
there's
price.
no way that's the price for this.
Definitely the price.
No, that cannot be. Fayan, what? You guys are
Definitely.
giving away the fridge.
Very much so.
Oh my
So just run on down to Singapore Pines and I'll get our 18.5 refrigerator.
No, you just mentioned Singapore Pines. But is this the only store where this is applicable, or are we talking about the
No,
whole island?
all over, all the stores in Jamaica.
Okay.
But come to Singapore Pines.
Ask for Fayan.
That's for fair, right? So we move on to upstairs where we have some more furnitures.
Okay.
So you can just. Okay.
Right.
All right, so here we're moving on to our sectional, which is our Nello, which
Sorry.
we have on sale here.
Come for the furniture, leave with toned legs. Sorry, yes, you're saying?
All right, so we have our Nello sectional here, only for
Like this.
$215,995.
Oh, nice.
And with the Nello sectional here, we have our storage here.
Oh.
This is where you can put your throws or cushion when not in need, okay?
Or, you know, anything like, you know, when you have guests coming over and you never expect it.
Everything can go,
Perfection,
right?
perfection.
So here as well,
oh, wait a
folds
minute.
out into a bed. So this automatically pulls out into a bed. So it can sleep two persons. Say you have some guest or unexpected guests.
Yes.
You can always have a second option for this.
Very cool. And that's the cost?
Yes, that's
To get
the
a
cost.
couch with storage and a pull-out bed capability?
Definitely.
That's brilliant.
Okay, so let me take you to our bedroom sets.
Oh, yes, please. You guys have a ton of options when it comes
Lots
to
of
bedroom
options.
sets. Yeah.
Okay, so here we have our Brunswick bedroom set.
Okay.
The dresser only for $120,744 inclusive of tax.
Oh, wow.
Nowhere you could get this marvelous bed anywhere else for this dresser for anywhere else.
Oh, I love when they're so easy to slide. Love that.
Definitely so. Now we have our Slater bedroom set here. Very nice color, not dark. So a lot of persons would favor this color. Chest of drawer you can get for $82,794.
Faye, let me ask you something. Suppose I come in here and I say, I really love this bed and I really like this dresser. I don't need that dresser. Can I choose what suits me to the set?
Definitely so. We do not, we give you the option to choose whatever pieces that you like. So we don't limit you to take the entire set, right? So if you want the bed, you can get it by itself. If you want the chest, you can get it by itself. The dresser, you can get it by itself.
And if I need the bed frame but not the mattress, I can also do
You
that
can
separately.
also get that by itself as well.
But what I am going to do is find out if I like this mattress. And there's only one way to know if you like the mattress.
Just go to sleep.
Hey, listen, this is where Fayan, I say thank you, I appreciate you. Night night or
You are welcome,
morning
my
morning.
dear.
CVM Television is the official broadcaster of ISA Schoolboy Football 2025. Unauthorized recording, broadcast or streaming of matches or related events is strictly prohibited. CVM Sports Issa Schoolboy Football is brought to you by KFC, Ping Pong, Catch, Water, Pringles, True Shake, Powerade, Burt's Auto Parts.
Of schoolboy football at the highest level in the urban area. We're still here at the National Stadium, and I'm still here, your host, Janae Robinson. Now, today we'll feature two of Jamaica's most storied schoolboy football programs standing face to face. It's the Eagles versus the True Blues, Excelsior High versus Jamaica College. And for me, I always say that finals it doesn't matter about the reputation, they demand performance, and we're 90 minutes away from seeing who will come out with the Manning Cup trophy. As usual, you know, I always get the insider from the coaches, both from Excelsior and JC. Let's hear what they have to say. Mentally embrace this occasion rather than be overwhelmed tonight.
Well, just for them to be confident in the preparation and to know that we did a good job in terms of the season and also the pre-season. I mean, they have done what no other team at Excelsior High School would have done in about 19 years, and that in itself is an achievement. But we have one more to go, and the focus now is to get this one out of the way and winning this one.
Your attacking unit has consistently been able to deliver. What balance are you looking for between patience in build-up and decisive decisions against JC?
Most definitely, we have to retain possession as long as possible. We know the JC team is good in possession, but we're good in possession as well. So it's definitely to retain possession of the ball as much as possible, and also when we do turn over the ball, how quickly can we regain possession? That's the aim.
What would this win mean for Excelsior High?
Great. It would mean a lot to the school and the school community and the boys as well, who have been working hard throughout the season.
All the best, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you.
Joined by Coach Courtney Dowdy, Coach Orwell, one of the coaches at Jamaica College. Now, Coach, finals football has a long tradition at JC. How have you ensured that your boys stay focused rather than focus on the pressure of history?
I mean, what we try to do is just keep them level-headed, you know. The important task is go out there and get started on our best foot, and I think that if once we get that today, I think we'll be in good stead.
Your squad has multiple goal threats across the pitch. How important is collective responsibility in moments when space and chance are limited?
I mean, as we played the start of the season, you can see us going through the season. It's more like a family, you know, each other playing for each other. It's not more selfish football, it's just us playing free-flowing football and us keeping it together.
Well, today we're in the finals, and finals demand adaptability. How prepared is your team to adjust tactically if needs be?
I mean, I think we're ready. You know, we'd have put in the work, coaching staff would have put in the work. It's just for the boys to go there today and execute.
Thank you, Coach. All the best.
Yeah, man, thank you.
And there you have it. You've heard from both head coaches. Now, if you can hear behind me, the stadium isn't full, but there are lots of supporters from either team. So, as you know, this match is going to be one that's very exciting. Now, if you're watching us on YouTube, comment below. Who do you think will be winning this Manning Cup final? And now, my talking is over. I have to send it to my commentary team of Jordan Ford and Leger Williams. See you at halftime.
on to this. They weathered the storm and battled through adversity, and now they must slug it out for the ultimate crown. Jamaica College seek a record-extending 32nd Manning Cup title, but standing in their way is an Excelsior team starved of success for over 2 decades. The National Stadium awaits these two gladiators Friday, December 19, and CVM TV is the only place to see it happen. Kickoff is 6 p.m. Catch all the action this Friday, December 19, live and exclusively on CVM TV, CVMTV.com, and CVM Television Jamaica on YouTube.
Away as the ultimate crown is on the line. 31-time champions, Jamaica College have hoisted urban area's main football title, dwarfing the 7 won by Excelsior. But the Eagles will be hungry to end an over 2-decade wait, which began in 2004. The National Stadium acts as the Coliseum as these two gladiators clash. It's the Manning Cup final, the culmination of a season almost wiped away by the most devastating storm in the country's history, but revived at the 11th hour. Live and exclusive right here on CVM TV, CVMTV.com, and CVM Television on YouTube, CVM Television Jamaica, that is. I'm Jordan Fort, and with me is Lige Williams, and this is, of course, the customary greeting of the teams, the greeting party here led by the president of the Intersecondary Schools Sports Association, ISSA, Keith Wellington. So the stage is set. In the first game of our doubleheader, the curtain raiser, the Walker Cup title was snatched from the champions Mona by St. Catherine High in the dreaded penalty shootout. What awaits us in the big one, the Manning Cup final? We're about to find out in a few minutes. Kickoff is set for 6 p.m. Going to be having the national anthem in a short while. Maybe just get a couple of words from Lige Williams after the playing of the national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, looking for a 7th title from Mountain View Avenue, the Excelsior team coached by Keon Broderick, Keith McTavish, his assistant. In goal, we're number 1, Jamari Gordon. Number 5, Rojan Small. Number 6, Nick Wayne Patrick. 7 is Shamari Chambers. Number 8, Terrence Williams. 9, Kimali Scott. Number 10, DeMarley Williams. 11, Kevin Salmon. Number 13, Shaquane White. 14, DeMario White. 16, Aldino Walters. The winningest school in Manning Cup history with 31 titles. Looking for number 32, the boys from Old Hope Road, Jamaica College. Davian Ferguson, the technical director. Raymond Watson, the head coach. The manager, Ian Forbes. Number 3, Jaheim Hall. Number 6, Donald Stewart. Number 7, Jabari Howell. 8 is DeMonte Allen. Number 10, Jamon Lyle. 11, Jamoy Dennis. Number 14, Malik Buckner. 17, Dante Logan. 19, Dwayne Berger. 21, DeJohnny Thompson. And in goal, 31, Marshall Dennis. The game to be handled by referee Alexi Perry. Assisted on the lines, assistant referee number 1, Jermaine Lee Singh. Assistant referee number 2, Melvin Reed. And Aquino Wilson is the fourth official.
Yo, Issa, our schoolboy football look this season. People them ready.
No. So both captains greeting the officials, getting their final word before kickoff. And of course, we will be taking you through the lineups and everything you need to know in terms of which players have been earmarked as our players to watch. The refereeing team there, of course, led by Alexi Perry, waiting to get things underway. Kimarley Scott and Terrence Williams have been highlighted as players to watch for the Excelsior team. The danger men for Jamaica College, as ever all season long, none other than Jabari Howell and Jamon Lyle. The two have combined to devastating effect throughout the season and have been a large part of why Jamaica College has advanced to this final. I told you, Alexi Perry, the man in the middle, flanked by Jermaine Lee Singh and Melvin Reed as his assistants. Okita Nicholson, the fourth official. There's Jamon Lyle, number 10 for Jamaica College, one of the players to watch, 7 goals this season, and will be hoping to be on the score sheet again for the Dark Blues in the search for title number 32. Less than a minute now from the 6 p.m. kickoff time. Referee Alexi Perry checks his watch one final time. Whistle to the mouth. And we have kickoff in the final of the Issa Manning Cup for 2025. Jamaica College has gotten us underway.
Yeah, and games don't come much bigger than this one. In schoolboy football, the Manning Cup final, always a showpiece encounter. This time, it's Excelsior, as you said, their titles dwarfed by Jamaica College, but then again, whose titles aren't? 31-time champions, Excelsior 7, the 5th most in the Manning Cup's history. A school laden with pride is Jamaica College, but so too Excelsior. And they'll be gunning, they'll be hoping, they'll be looking to create what many would call an upset as Jamaica College look to further put a strengthened grip on their juggernaut over schoolboy football. Donald Stewart looks to get things rolling for JC as Buckner tries to play this one forward.
Excelsior win back possession in the middle of the park. An area that we'll be watching closely throughout this contest. Jamaica College and Excelsior both boasting plenty of firepower up front. Who will win the battle of the midfield?
Yeah, and that midfield battle will be so important for several reasons. Harped on it during the semi-final for Jamaica College. Devontae Allen responded with a man of the match performance in a 4-0 win. But Excelsior, they're a different beast than St. Andrew Technical High School, and we saw that in their 2-1 loss, albeit against Jamaica College in the quarterfinal, the first game of the quarterfinal round. That was a fiercely contested one. I'm expecting nothing less here in the final.
Yuletide season, but neither team will be in the mood for giving, as the urban area symbol of supremacy is on the line. Excelsior really want this one. 21 years they've gone without it. Here's a cross coming in from the corner kick. Well met by the Jamaica College goalkeeper, Machel Dennis, between the sticks.
You mentioned 21 years since Excelsior have lifted this Manning Cup title. It's also been quite some time since they even got to the final, 2006, as a matter of fact, where they were defeated 3-1 on that day by Bridgeport and Anthony Patrick, coach Bridgeport team.
Here's a ball forward for Jamaica College, taken down inside the box, and there are appeals. Referee Alexi Perry is not moved and signals a corner kick in favor of JC.
And this is something that we saw from Jamaica College quite a bit in their semi-final, always looking to get whichever one of their attackers beyond the last line and running. Usually it's over a defense as this corner is swung over.
And the ball not cleared yet. Now Excelsior clear their lines. And you can tell that the occasion is just a bit bigger. Neither team having fully settled yet. Jamaica College though, well prepared, well oiled for the big time. So too the Keon Broderick coached Excelsior. Spread their wings all season long. Jamoy Dennis, we've seen that he can score screamers. Ball played across, and Buckner trying to get on the end of it for JC. It's into touch, and it's another corner kick for Jamaica College.
And it will be Jamon Lyle to whip this one in. It will be a right-footed out swinger from that right-hand side. What a talent Jamon Lyle is. Has really sparkled since coming into the Jamaica College team this season. He's set up to be a talisman as he puts his corner in.
Hit by an Excelsior head, but played in. And it looks like Dwayne Berger trying to work an angle for a shot. A player goes down inside the box. It's a melee in there. And Excelsior eventually clear their lines. And then that one is coming towards us. Booted out by Jamaica College, throw into Excelsior.
Yeah, and they'll have to be very alive to the threat of especially Kimarley Scott as he stays on the last line and is a pest throughout any 90 minutes. 19 goals to his name this season. Kimarley Scott was the leading goal scorer in urban area schoolboy under 19 football last season with 29 goals to his name. Not quite the same number this season, but still just as dangerous.
See Excelsior employing the long ball. Gets into the box, doesn't find the target. They're still in possession, Excelsior. Taken down on the far side, and it's a foul. Free kick awarded to Excelsior.
Yeah, and it was Devontae Allen coming across late to that challenge. And now it's Excelsior presented with a very good opportunity to test this JC defense with a set piece. It will be Damarley Williams to whip it in.
Take a look at it again. See what Damarley Williams will serve up for Excelsior. Tries to go directly for goal, well over the bar.
And this JC defense has been standing up very firm, especially as of late. Started the season in very good nick, only conceding 1 goal in their 9 group stage games. And so far this season, across their 16 games and counting, only 7 goals conceded.
All played forward early. We saw where JC used that Route 1 football léger to devastating effect against St. Andrew Technical. Here they are again, Jamaica College on the right side this time. Switch of wings, Jamoy Dennis on it. Dennis saw a little opening, tried to take a shot. Malik Buckner playing up front for Jamaica College. This is Buckner again on it. Buckner tries to play one across this time. It was Buckner who took that earlier shot and not Dennis. Operating from that left-hand side of attack. Now here's Dennis on it. Turns. And the ball played through. Jamaica College might be in here. Good defending in the end from Excelsior.
Yeah, very well defended because he was goal side of his defender there, Dwayne Berger. Now Jamaica College is leading goal scorer this season. 14 strikes to his name as Excelsior look to play one over the top, but calmly defended.
Trying to catch Jamaica College out. JC though defended well. Back on it, Jamaica College. There's Buckner again, providing the width so far for Jamaica College early on this near side.
Something I did certainly wonder about coming into this game as Lyle takes that one down well. Get back onto that in a second.
Jamon Lyle works it onto his right boot. Jamon Lyle with a shot from distance, and it ends up drifting wide. The crowd responding to that though. Bit of magic from a skillful young player, Jamon Lyle.
Yeah, what a player he is. His influence has been over all of Jamaica College's games as of late. And the positions he takes up will have to be closely monitored by this Excelsior defense. Here's it once more. Controlled well, had space and time to turn, and took on his men well. With that shot in the end wayward.
Got to keep an eye on Jamaica College's number 10, Jamon Lyle. Tricky customer, there he is on screen. Excelsior though come forward on the far side, looking to launch an attack of their own. It's a good last-ditch tackle from Jamaica College to win it back. Look for options. Found one in the middle through Jabari Howell. Howell trying to find the run of Buckner. Buckner gets on it. Keeper out of position. Now it comes to Buckner in fact. Tries to curl it with the right boot. Does Malik Buckner, but doesn't get past the Excelsior defense. Here's the aforementioned Lyle. Turns, finds a teammate, and then that through ball intercepted. Well read by the Excelsior defense. It's going to come down to Kevon Salmon. And he's a man who can work magic for Excelsior as well. Excelsior look for a route now down the left side. And a cross comes in, but it's going to be easy pickings for Machel Dennis in goal for JC.
He tries to find Berger with that defensive header from Excelsior. Wayward. It's going to be a throw deep into Excelsior territory for Jamaica College.
And a very obvious strategy, isn't it, Leger? That early ball over the top, trying to find the run of Berger. It's been Buckner a few times as well. JC looking to use that to good effect again, as I said, as they did against St. Andrew Technical.
Yeah, and it's a strategy that they have to use, especially because as the season has waned, it's become more and more obvious what they're trying to do in build-up. I mentioned in that St. Andrew Technical game that JC don't quite have the same control in midfield like they have done over the past couple of seasons. And to alleviate that, they've opted for inverting not one but two of their fullbacks in Dante Logan and Dijoni Thompson. And Excelsior, a very good pressing team, has really come out to limit that build-up proficiency. And that has caused Jamaica College to say, okay, we won't play through you, we'll try and play over you. So that's a cause for the early passes over the top as Jamon Lyle gets some treatment on his left quad early in this game. Shamari Chambers also getting a bit of a stretch, the Excelsior left back.
Yeah, and he's wearing quite a bit of tape, is Chambers. So obviously carrying some form of injury or niggle into this particular contest. He's going to be tested, one would think, throughout the 90 minutes plus. Here's a look back at the earlier play. Here's the skillful Jamon Lyle. That was well taken down. The diminutive figure is Lyle, but really good on the ball. That was just a glimpse of some of the technical brilliance that he can produce.
Yeah, and this game is littered with not only schoolboy football talent or even Jamaica Premier League talent, but also talent that plays for their national team in Jamaica. You mentioned Lyle, he's currently a part of the under-17 setup for Jamaica. Dwayne Berger as well, ironically, even though he's striking for JC tonight, he plays as a centre-back for that team. Thompson and Logan have also gotten call-ups for the under-20 program. For Excelsior, we've seen Damarley Williams play for the under-17 team this past summer. Also ironically, even though he's playing as a number 10 tonight at right back. So talent all over the shop for both of these teams. But which talent will come to the fore and produce the biggest moments in this game?
Yeah, we often talk about all the tactical and technical stuff between the lines throughout the 90 minutes as Excelsior try to come forward early. But you just use the word léger, and coaches will always tell you, especially in these big games, it could very well come down to moments or one single moment to decide who lifts the title.
Yeah, and a lot of it is coming down to quite a simple thing. Any coach will tell you early on in a game, especially of this magnitude as Terrence Williams fails to find Demario White, it's about earning the right to play, and that simply means you have to match the intensity of your opponent first. And once you match it and sometimes outdo it, that's when you get the right to play your football and knock your stuff around. You could be the best technical team around. That's still the number one rule in any football game. And Kevon Salmon is certainly earning the right here as he gets the better of DeJohnny Thompson.
And Thompson has been left in his wake. Salmon tries to slip through Kimarley Scott. A touch too heavy though. Scott would have been hoping to feast on a well-weighted through pass. Again, we see the ball played directly forward to Dwayne Berger from the goal kick for Jamaica College. An obvious tactic trying to catch the Excelsior defense out. Whatever homework that the Jamaica College technical staff did, that's what they've come up with. The technical director, Davian Ferguson, the man who's been instrumental in the success of Mount Pleasant, won the Caribbean Cup. The Jamaica College player slips as the ball was played in, and Excelsior trying to go the other way. JC though win it back.
Yeah, Damarley Williams a bit slow in releasing the pass there, but he has another opportunity.
Williams looks up, picks out Kimarley Scott. Scott with an angle on goal. Scott fires it wide though. Jamaica College will be counting their lucky stars.
Yeah, should have done a bit better there. Trapped the ball excellently. Tried to get it out of his feet, but I think once he noticed that the pressure from Donald Stewart was there, panicked a bit and dragged the shot in the end. And it's a man who played the pass, Damarley Williams, down on the turf for Excelsior. Maybe feeling the effects of a challenge that would have flown in not too long ago.
Yeah, and I think we have to give Stewart credit for the defensive work done just now. Knew Kimarley Scott wanted to get a more favourable angle, kept pushing him wide, forcing him to try to kick to that near post, and Scott dragging that one wide. It's an attempt for Excelsior, but not on target.
Yeah, good defense is always a fine line when, as a defender, you're facing up against such a tricky opponent. Are you going to delay? Are you going to engage? Donald Stewart chose to delay in this instance. JC are not delaying when they're building their attacks.
Buckner passes that one forward to Berger, who's having to play that one all the way back to DeJohnny Thompson. There's Donald Stewart on it now. Stewart skips away from his marker. Puts it to the right side, where he finds number 11, Jamoy Dennis. And you see the triangles forming for Jamaica College as they look for the open man. Here's Malik Buckner now, who's found himself in some space on the left side. Harried Malik Buckner, but keeps possession. Finds Devontae Allen. Jamaica College knocking it around. Buckner has come all the way into the middle of the park. It's Lyle drifting out wide. Trying to play the clever little ball forward. Jamaica College with a shot on goal. And the follow-up goes over the bar. It was Dwayne Berger on the doorstep. Couldn't keep that attempt down. And that will go down as a missed opportunity for Jamaica College.
Yeah, massive opportunity. It was excellent football to begin with by Jamaica College, overloading that right-hand side. Buckner, the left winger, even there in proximity as Shamari Chambers tried to cut it out, couldn't. And when the eventual cross came in, it was just a quick snapshot that Berger could get off. And he couldn't direct it on target. It was a quick snapshot that he had in the opening quarter-final game this season. But he converted on that occasion, the winner, as Jamaica College beat Excelsior by 2-1.
Yeah, that one, a matter of reaction for Dwayne Berger. He just couldn't keep it down. It was, as I said, a chance, a difficult chance based on how quickly it fell to him. He was almost standing right on the goalkeeper's toes. Just couldn't manage to direct it under the crossbar. Jamaica College in possession again. Neat footwork there, but pressure at the back of Jabari Howell, who loses it. It's a throw into Excelsior. It's a long throw employed by Excelsior. Howell now searches for the long ball. Chested down by Dwayne Berger. Goes into touch. He was trying to find Lyle. It's a JC throw-in. It's a cross coming in. Dealt with by the Excelsior defense. And now they look to go long. It's 1-on-2 for the moment. But Kivan Salmon is running through as well to provide an option.
And that's just excellent centre forward play from Kimarley Scott. First the movement just out wide to draw a centre back with him. Then the pace and touch and acceleration to beat him and leave him trailing. Then looking for his teammate arriving late in the box. Couldn't find him. But such quality he has. No wasted movement from Excelsior's number 9. As a corner kick is about to come up for the team in yellow and green.
Good defending from Dante Logan on that occasion to turn it behind for a corner. Here's the in-swinger coming in. Jamaica College goalkeeper in no man's land, but it's headed away, and it's a throw-in this time to Excelsior Eagles.
Yeah, and all the better as well because there was an Excelsior player on that far post waiting for a simple header in the goal.
There's a cross coming in from the right side this time. Overhit, but Excelsior will remain in control. Terrence Williams,
man of the match in the semi-final with a brace, the Excelsior captain, including a lovely strike to make it 3-1 against Eltham High.
looking to use all his trickery on that occasion. Throw in Excelsior. Deadlock yet to be broken in this first half. It's a long throw employed by Excelsior. Met well in the box by Jamaica College. This one intercepted anywhere will do for Jamaica College. Malik Buckner to strike to. Get it under his spell. And it's a throw into JC.
It looks as if we'll have the first, let's call it a timeout in this game. It's been an exciting one to start. But after 22 minutes of action, Machel Dennis takes a seat, and it will give both teams an opportunity to speak things over with their coaching staff. But it's been a very intriguing watch so far in this Manning Cup final.
Coach Keon Broderick and his staff looking to reiterate that pre-match message midway the first half, as we see Machel Dennis get some treatment. The Jamaica College Brain Trust will be looking to do the same as well. There's Davian Ferguson, who's doing all of the talking at this stage. You can see the team manager Ian Forbes was in the foreground there just now. Raymond Watson just watching on as instructions are being belted out by Coach Ferguson. Ready to get back to action, throwing JC. They try to steal a few yards on the far side. Jamaica College with the throw-in. Ball played back into touch. It's another throw-in for Jamaica College. JC stride forward. And it's a foul. Free kick to JC. Buckner taken down. This is not a bad area. It's a nice area that Jamaica College have won this free kick. And if you didn't know before, I'm sure Leger will remind you as well, they have some players who can really strike the ball, Jamaica College.
Yeah, we've seen them score several fantastic free kicks this season. It's Dwayne Berger who has taken hostage of this ball. It is favoring a right footer. He immediately went over, did Berger.
Yeah, Dejoni Thompson also standing over it. Will it be a shot? Will it be a pass? Jamoy Dennis on this left side. Well placed to assist in any trickery should Jamaica College employ a training ground routine. Berger lining it up, struck by Dwayne Berger, and just kept rising. I tell you what though, Jamari Gordon in goal for Excelsior. At one point, they have been a little bit worried as we look at it again. Yeah, Gordon not always sure that one was going over. Kept rising though. As Excelsior march forward now, this could be an opportunity to open the scoring for Excelsior. Danger averted just temporarily though, still in possession.
With a disappointing cross from Kimarley Scott. It was actually good defending once more to get that toe on the ball, move him from a central area where he could get a shot off. And Scott couldn't find a teammate. Those are the chances that Excelsior have to take full advantage of if they're going to get anything out of this game. As Dennis looks for his namesake on the left-hand side, but too heavy as Excelsior break forward once more.
Kevin Salmon on the ball for Excelsior, shrugs off a challenge and then unleashes a shot with the left foot, always going over though.
Yeah, he certainly is capable from that distance, Kevin Salmon. We've seen that this season and in prior seasons as well. the man who plays his club football at Arnett Gardens, made his Jamaica Premier League debut last season. Very talented right winger and a certain X factor for this Excelsior team.
Second time in a row, Machel Dennis cannot pick out Jamoy Dennis on this left side. Terrence Williams on it for Excelsior. Plays this one over, but Kimarley Scott unable to get on it. Marley Williams looking to line one up. 50-50 challenge. Excelsior's got a man down. He's back on his feet now though, but Jamaica College in possession on the far side through Malik Buckner, who's been in the wars early in this contest. Chambers winning back possession for Excelsior. There's Excelsior's number 10, Damarley Williams. Excelsior appealing for a free kick, referee not interested. JC tried to charge forward through Jabari Howell. Excelsior. It's Kevin Salmon taken down by Devontae Allen. Free kick to Excelsior on this near side.
Yeah, Salmon has been every and anywhere on this pitch so far, racing back to help his team defensively and then finding some space offensively as well. Impeded by Jamaica College's number, Devontae Allen. Maybe confused there for a second because he has also been in a couple of national squads at under 17 level. Very experienced player at youth level. Has captain Harbour View as well at that level, to an under 17 championship.
There's a cross coming in from this free kick. And Excelsior back on it through someone who takes a shot on. And it comes back into a dangerous area. JC cleared their lines temporarily. Ball locked back in. And now Machel Dennis can come to collect. Jamaica College living dangerously there just now.
Yeah, they certainly were, and they're pretty lucky that Kevin Salmon is a very honest boy, because a couple of challenges flew in where other players might have left a leg dangling.
Some sweet football from Jamaica College as they come forward. Malik Buckner finds Lyle, who serves it up on a plate, and inexplicably it's not buried by Jabari Howell.
Fantastic pass, really fantastic pass coming in from Lyle. It was good work from Buckner initially, maybe held his pass a bit too long, but once it came to Lyle there was no hesitation from him in putting this one across goal. And that late run from Jabari Howell, he got a deflection. I think that's why he didn't go with his right foot initially. Ended up having to stretch with his left, and then he couldn't just wrap his foot around the ball and guide that one into the back of the net. That deflection crucial in keeping this game 0-0.
Yeah, I have to give him some grace there, Jabari Howell. Didn't see the deflection at first, Leger. Those are the margins, the very small margins. I think though, as you said, just changing the trajectory of the pass ever so slightly, that deflection from the Excelsior defence. And taking out of the comfort zone of Jabari Howell, who was trying to guide it home. Again, relatively difficult chance, but a chance nonetheless. It's Coach Keon Broderick. Again, giving out instructions. Talking to Shaquan White there, his number 13. As his goalkeeper, Jamari Gordon, is just now getting back to his feet after that particular shot attempt. Gordon was scurrying across. Wasn't getting there if Jabari Howell got the right connection. There's Howell. Another one of the game changers potentially for this JC team. And they have a few, Jamaica College, in their ranks. The goal kick is a relatively weak one from Excelsior. But they're still in possession, this Excelsior team. It's Kimarley Scott on this left side now, trying to find somewhat of an opening, some opportunity. A teammate in the end though wins a throw-in for his team.
Kimarley Scott again breaking wide and causing problems for those Jamaica College defenders. Another long throw coming in from Shamari Chambers.
Good long throw as well. Punched out by Jamaica College's goalkeeper. Excelsior still in possession, trying to put it back into a dangerous area. And it's eventually cleared now by JC for another throw-in to Excelsior. Shamari Chambers has quite a long throw on him. Here he comes again, Chambers. Again, it's into the mix-up. JC unable to keep that one in. It's a corner kick to Excelsior.
Yeah, who have been piling on some pressure in the last few minutes. Their captain Terence Williams strutting across to take this set piece.
Corner kick swung in, it's an in-swinger, but it doesn't get the right angle and it's into the side netting.
Yeah,
Goal kick JC.
It's clear what Excelsior are trying to do from these set pieces, from those corner kicks especially. Just trying to put it in that goal mouth area, make it difficult for the goalkeeper and the defenders to get a clearance, and any touch really can be a significant one as JC struggled to play out from the back once more.
Chase on. Kivan Salmon who wins it. Marty Williams plays that one over the top to the left side. Tries to get a cross in. Jamaica College defenders were a little bit concerned about that one, but a foul in the end on Excelsior. Free kick to Jamaica College.
Yeah, brave challenge coming in from Dejoni Thompson, putting his head in harm's way. Kivan Salmon tried to break in behind him. Jamoy Dennis again trying to drop deep to receive the ball, but not being spotted early enough by his teammates as JC go long once more, but this time to no avail.
Talk about going long, Excelsior do the same. Chase is on here. The ball is going to win though that particular race. Kivan Salmon was a man giving chase for Excelsior. Jamon Lyle. Lyle carrying it for Jamaica College. Dwayne Berger. Ball played out early here to near side for Jamoy Dennis. Dennis, step overs. Tries to come inside, but the Excelsior defense, well aware of what he wanted to do, tries to find Malik Buckner. Buckner manages to save it and wins a throw expertly for his team. For a second there, I thought Malik Buckner was going to be second best. A long throw now for Jamaica College. Hurled forward, not dealt with well, and a shot comes in from Jabari Howell. from his left foot, but just couldn't get over it really.
They're always difficult when you're traveling backward to really wrap your body around the ball and get over it as you're striking it, especially seeing that it was a half volley. Half chance for JC, but chance nonetheless.
This is going to be an Excelsior throw. So you knew it was going to be tense. This is a final. Two teams who have separated themselves from the rest in urban area schoolboy football for 2025. Jamaica College and Excelsior so far cancelling each other out. Jamon Lyle, the dangerous Jamon Lyle, finds Jamoy Dennis, who strikes on goal, and it's turned away by the goalkeeper and eventually into touch. That's excellent defending from Excelsior as Jamaica College, Raymond Watson and Davian Ferguson rue that missed opportunity. It's going to be a corner kick though for JC. There's Malik Buckner on it again for JC. A bit of dancing does Malik Buckner. Goes down, but the referee has played an advantage. Dennis struck that aforementioned chance. Johnny Thompson. This one comes forward. Kimani Scott having to do the work on his own. And now he switches in across to try to find a teammate, does Kimani Scott. Jamaica College though ultimately come away with it. Quick throw taken by Jamaica College. Jamon Lyle trying to line up a shot, but perhaps just leaning back at the wrong moment, and that one is skied over the bar.
Yeah, certainly leaning back as he struck that one, Jamon Lyle, but his influence is growing over this game. JC with a massive chance not too long ago. This time, he never quite got over that one as he was preparing to strike. That's in his wheelhouse, and Excelsior will do really well to avoid him getting chances like that going forward, as we see a replay of the previous chance, well saved by Gordon, and what a challenge that was coming in. Talk about goal saving from Excelsior as JC win another foul in their own territory.
Yeah, that was Rajon Small who made that goal saving challenge for Excelsior. Their number 5, keeping it to 0-0. Thompson finds Dennis. A few flailing arms as Dennis plays that one all the way back. JC look for the early route forward. Winning it back, Jamaica College. Excelsior though alert to the danger and can break away here, Excelsior. And a lunging tackle coming in. Referee Alexi Perry says no foul.
Yes, studs were up, but it seemed as if it was a clean challenge. Kimani Scott back up on his feet, the Excelsior bench incensed.
Yeah, Scott not doing too much complaining actually. It's Jamoy Dennis now, looking to take on his man and go by him. Jamoy Dennis still in possession for JC, taken down inside the box. Referee says play on. Excelsior can come the other way. Terrence Williams looking for the ball back. It's going to break kindly to Excelsior. One pass. And a shot taken on. Eventually, Marshall Dennis gathers. A few nervy moments there for Jamaica College, Leger.
Yeah, and Excelsior finally going through the gears. It was excellent one-touch passing before a lucky break led to them being through on goal. White did the right thing, not being on his stronger left foot, playing that one across goal as Terrence Williams came in the box unattended, but the shot way too central, and Marshall Dennis grateful as he grabs onto it at the second time of asking. This game has been simmering, but it feels as if it's approaching a boil at this moment. The action certainly is hot, as that's a tough challenge coming in from Buckner. I believe it was on Shamari Chambers. It's actually on Demario White.
All right, we're going to take a look back at 2 earlier fouls as we see a yellow card shown to Malik Buckner. There's Jamoy Dennis. That one he was probably just looking for it, Leger. He went down in the box. This one, Damarley Williams fouled Kimarley Scott. And a crunching tackle coming in. The referee said no foul. It was Jaheim Hall, centre back for JC, who lunged in on Scott. I have to say it looks like the right decision from referee Perry. Demario White is now back on his feet for Excelsior. Here's Jamoy Dennis once again on this near side for Jamaica College. Dennis goes to the byline, tries to play it across. But the deflection from Excelsior defender Shaquan White earns JC a corner. They take it quickly. This is Jabari Howell hanging this one up. No Jamaica College player on the end of it though. As we approach half-time interval, it's 4 minutes that have been added for stoppages.
JC trying to pile on some pressures. The first half ticks to a close.
Here they come Excelsior on the far side. Tackle coming in from Jamaica College.
Yeah, really good play there from Excelsior once more. When they do get into their stride, when they do start pinging it around, they do so with such quality. Do Excelsior. And they'll have another corner kick coming up here. We see the intention with them.
Corner kick swung in, it's an in-swinging corner. Marshall Dennis was hearing off his line. It's headed out. Excelsior will look to serve another one up. This one comes into the box. Scott lurking. Acrobatic attempt coming in. But it's a foul on Excelsior.
Yeah, and it was Berger putting his body on the line for Jamaica College as Demario White was looking for quite an attempt there.
Here it is again. As we're back to live action, Jamoy Dennis trying to slip by his defender, but just lost control at a crucial moment.
Jamari Gordon, the Excelsior custodian, asking for some calm. Calmly done there by Donald Stewart. Maybe a bit too calm, as that's going to be a foul actually heading the way of JC and Jaheim Hall.
Yeah, you'll often hear them say that it's the worst time to concede a goal. I think any time is a bad time to concede a goal, but any goal here, of course, would change the halftime team talk for the team which concedes.
Also change the mentality of the players going into the break.
Dejoni Thompson on the near side for JC, trying to find Malik Buckner, who lays it off for Jamoy Dennis. Dennis taken down, but it falls to Jabari Howell. He's gonna flip this one out wide to Dwayne Berger. Buckner comes across. Back to Berger. Berger finds Buckner, who's drifted out to the right-hand side. And a neat little 1-2 played. Buckner trying to play it back across. It comes almost all the way across. And Jamoy Dennis on it now for Jamaica College, finding Dejoni Thompson, and a ball played through. The goalkeeper leaves his line and takes the angle away from Jamon Lyle. It's going to be a goal kick to Excelsior.
Yeah, couldn't bring that one under his spell, could Jamon Lyle. As we see the last pertinent attack of the first half, as the referee Alexi Perry has brought a close to proceedings for 45 minutes of Manning Cup final action.
Yeah, so we're going to take a break here on our coverage. When we come back, we give you the first half highlights.
Merry Money Mania loan promotion. This Christmas, borrow big and win bigger. Get $1.5 million or $2 million in loans at special reduced rates, plus a chance to win your share of $1 million. And new customers get double entries. The promotion runs from October 15 and is now extended to January 30, 2026. Visit any Chris and Charles branch or chrisandcharles.com for details. Chris and Charles, making life merry again. Conditions apply. Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act.
This is Jamaica's season for giving thanks for what matters. It's the time to show up, be there for each other, and to feed our hope for a brighter tomorrow. Celebrate being together with a KFC festive feast. Get the new festive 9 bucket. Proceeds from each festive feast purchase go towards hurricane relief. KFC is finger licking good.
Of the ISA Manning Cup final here on CVM TV. Of course, you can also catch us on cvmtv.com and CVM Television Jamaica on YouTube. It's first half highlights coming up for you as it's 0-0 between Jamaica College and Excelsior in this. Picks up Kimberly Scott. The highlights. Referee Alexi Perry getting things underway, and Jamaica College looking to use a long ball to good effect early in the contest. The tricky, the dangerous Jamon Lyle, well taken down, but that shot was always rising. And this through ball, which found the legs of Dwayne Berger, trying to pull it back for Malik Buckner. Buckner, though, couldn't get it past the Excelsior defense. Says Kimberly Scott, trying to find an angle there. Get that one at the near post, but can't direct it in. And that one falling to Berger on the rebound. But a really tough chance. A half chance, you'd probably call it. Chance nonetheless for Jamaica College. This one, Lyle tried to serve upon a platter, and it was Jabari Howell who was lurking. Got on the end of it, but one suspects that that deflection and the change of trajectory just took it out of his path enough. And then that strike from Jamoy Dennis, probably Jamaica College's best of the game, and a crucial challenge coming in to ensure it stays 0-0. Jamon Lyle tried to take that one on from distance, but in the end it was well high. And then Excelsior with an opportunity of their own. Terrence Williams, one of their danger men, striking that one towards the target. So it's still 0-0, and at the end of the first half, 4 shots for Excelsior, 8 to Jamaica College, 1 on target for either team. It's been 9 fouls, 6 of them have been committed by Excelsior. The only yellow card of the game so far given to Jamaica College. 9 corners, 5 of them falling to JC, and Excelsior shading the possession stats, leading in that respect 54% to Jamaica College's 46. Janae Robinson is standing by for us. Janae, what do you have for us?
And it's halftime here at the National Stadium. Now we're still covering the Manning Cup final. It's Excelsior versus Jamaica College, and if you guys haven't seen, the vibes is immaculate. Now I'm joined by the brand manager of Catch, Shantavia Samuels, and I spoke to her at the launch of the ISA boys and girls, well, not ISA boys and girls, ISA schoolboy football season, and you were telling me that there's a lot of things in store for Catch. Now we're at the end of the season. Can you just tell me how you felt? This is your first time doing this. How has it been with Catch?
So this is our first year on schoolboy football, and it has been a very exciting season. A lot of learning, of course, but it is something that we are very excited to see what's to come in the coming years. That's it. All right, well, Shantavia, so you're doing a lot of work here at the stadium today. You're all over the stands, and it's a lot of vibes. Can you tell me what's outside, what is in under the tunnel? Where can the people go to get some Catch? Guys, it's a chocolate bar, so if you want a chocolate bar, you can go and get one. But where can they find it in the stadium? Are there any reps going around? Yes, so we have a lot of brand ambassadors here in the stadium. It has been a lot. The energy is high. I've been back and forth, as you have seen me say, I'm a bit out of it, and I do apologize, but it has been a lot. So we love the energy. It's really good. We love to see what schoolboy football is doing, having the families come out, everyone cheering in the stands, and it's really great. We love how it aligns with our brand, and it is something that we're really excited about, and we look forward to growing with schoolboy football for the following seasons to come. Well, guys, if you didn't know, they say that it's Catch vibes, so I hope you're catching our vibes, whether you're joining us on YouTube, on TV, or on our website. And before we go, Shantavia, today is the Manning Cup, tomorrow is the Da Costa Cup and the Ben Francis. What can we expect from Catch vibes? So tomorrow we will be executing our ping pong bounce into flavor. So just the same, maintain the same energy, a lot of vibes, a lot of giveaways, and just representing the brand in the best way possible, coming out for our community. And what chocolate stand for, and we're here for it, here for everyone, and those nail biting moments, the excitement, the family, we're all about it.
All right, well, I know this match is special to you. It's JC versus Excelsior, and you are a JC girly. Can you give me a prediction? How do you think this match, what do you think the scoreline will be at the end of today's match?
Well, the funny thing about this match, what is so interesting for me, I'm not only a JC girly, but I am an Excelsiorian. I went to the Excelsior High School. I went to the Excelsior High School, so I don't want to comment on it because I don't want my fellow Excelsiorians to have me up in their heart. And same for my JC fans, so I'm all for it.
All right, guys. Well, we are going to continue enjoying the football here and catch the vibes, get some ping pong wherever you can. And if you don't, to miss it is to diss it. But after the break, we have more football for you. Stick around.
Malik Buckner finds Lyle, who serves it up on a plate. And inexplicably,
Quite an exciting match taking place here on CVM TV. Good evening, I'm Curlin Brown, here to give you the headlines though at halftime ahead of our newscast. Sadness and shock in Clarendon as a family dispute between brothers ends in tragedy. The incident, which unfolded in the Rocky Point community, has left 3 family members dead. In a follow-up to the alleged rape of a student at the College of Agriculture, Science and Education case in Portland, a women's advocacy group is calling for urgent improvements to the security at the institution. The government says Jamaica has received international assistance from more than 36 countries following the devastation caused by Hurricane Melissa. Minister of Foreign Affairs Kamina Johnson-Smith detailed the scale of the global response as recovery efforts continue after the hurricane claimed 45 lives and left thousands displaced. And with 12 days to go before the end of 2025, 365 people have lost their lives on the nation's roads this year so far. Experts from the National Works Agency and the National Road Safety Council are encouraging motorists to apply increased caution during the festive season and to remain mindful. Repairs and construction exercises are taking place across the island. All that and lots more coming up in CVM News following the completion of the Manning Cup final. See you then.
So tasty. What a catch. With a caramel center. What a catch. And so much chocolate. Ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. First it's crispy, then it's creamy. With so much chocolate, smooth and milky. And when you go a little deeper, you find caramel. Ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. What a catch. Oh, 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 oh. What a catch. You know we love you. What a catch. Oh, 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 oh. First it's crispy, then it's creamy. What a catch.
Team, we need to pass the ball quicker, much quicker. And you need to make sure. I'm the coach. And I'm the assistant coach. No. Your job is to bring the water and keep us hydrated. Matter of fact, where's the water? I've got it, coach.
The time by Sagicor is
7 p.m.
All you want for Christmas is your 2 front seat, your 2 front seat, your 2 front seat. At Jamaica Pegasus, your 2 front seat for Christmas comedy cook-off.
Friday, December 26th at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel. Gates open 6 p.m. Showtime 7:30 sharp. Tickets at SpurOpen.com. Info 876-542-4160. Part proceeds support hurricane relief. Christmas comedy cook-off. Sponsored by KFC and Jamaica
At
Pegasus.
Jamaica Pegasus, your 2 front seat for Christmas comedy cook-off.
This holiday season, CVM brings you the magic of togetherness. Holiday movie magic.
Now that is good. Miss Claire, I need you to come back here more often.
So many memorable films celebrating Black love, laughter, and legacy. December 19th through January 2nd. Catch them in prime time and rewatch all day on the holidays.
Counting on that.
From all of us to all of you, enjoy CVM's Holiday Movie Magic, brought to you by Singer, Chris and Charles.
Neither team was able to break the deadlock. Both teams still with all 11 players out there. None sent off in this crucial final. Jamaica College searching for title number 32. Excelsior with their 7 titles, looking to add an 8th and a first in 21 years. The stage is set for a fascinating, intriguing second 45 minutes plus. A reminder, of course, it's the second game of our doubleheader. We saw the Walker Cup final where the champions Mona were dethroned by St. Catherine High on penalty shootout. Of course, both teams having comebacks in that game. Mona led, St. Catherine came back and then led. Mona came back and then led again. St. Catherine evened up proceedings, sent it to the dreaded penalty kicks. And it was St. Catherine who came out on top 4-3 from 12 yards. Referee Alexi Perry just ensuring everything is ready before he blows the whistle for Excelsior to resume proceedings here. Second half now on the way between Jamaica College and Excelsior. Kimarley Scott losing the ball early for Excelsior. JC tried to come away.
Yeah, the midfield battle was so intriguing in that first half, especially. Get back to that shortly as Butler
Malik
races
Butler
through.
tries to play through Dwayne Berger and he's taken down inside the box. The referee, though, has not pointed to the spot.
Yeah, he's going to book him for a dive. He's going to book him for a dive, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, we're going to have another look at it, Leger. Here it is, a nice ball through from Buckner.
Yeah, it was a very good through ball played through.
There was contact. I do think, though, that Dwayne Berger was just searching for it. Left his foot just hanging, Leger, just left it behind. And then Jamari Gordon pleading with the referee immediately after seeing Berger go down, saying to the referee that he was innocent. Referee Alexi Perry siding with Gordon. And simulation is the offense that Berger has been booked for.
Yeah, so an action-packed start to the second half, just as what we would have seen in the first. No changes to report in the second half so far. Small personnel shift for Jamaica College. They've swapped their fullbacks as they tend to do throughout games. Dante Logan, their captain, now operating from left back. Dejone Thompson at right back. But expect to see both of those players drift in field constantly for this Jamaica College team. As Logan, his first involvement in the second half, is fouling Kivan Salmon.
Yeah, as we watch this second half unfold, Leger, I think you started to make the point just at the start of the second half. What specifically are we looking for from both teams as they try to unlock each other's defense?
Yeah, I think for Jamaica College will all be about patience. I think their best moves in that first half came when they were holding the ball for longer stretches. They were allowing Excelsior to finally break their defensive shape, and once they did, it was all about finding space between the lines, and when they eventually did, it was then finding passes in behind. And for Excelsior, I think it's about trying to keep their shape defensively, number one, but number two, being much more decisive when they find themselves in space in and around that JC penalty area. As one of Excelsior's players, it's their number 16, one of their centre backs, in quite a bit of pain as they prepare to take this free kick.
Aldino Walters it is. Free kick coming in, and it's a defensive header that would have worried Dennis momentarily, but he was comfortable in the end in claiming it for JC. Fans well and truly into this one now. Jamon Lyle dropping deep to try to improve the supply line for Jamaica College, but a change coming in, by the way. So Aldino Walters replaced for Excelsior, and he's replaced by Tristan Bethune in defense. So the injured Walters not able to continue, and the first change of the game is an enforced change. Yeah, referee Perry's going to call that one back for a foul. I thought that challenge looked like it was illegal. Perry just waiting to see if Excelsior had an advantage there, and then deciding it was in fact a foul.
Yeah, you can see Davian Ferguson, the technical director of Jamaica College, wondering why that foul was given.
Swinging this one in is Salmon, and Jamaica College defense looking a little bit shaky in the initial instance.
Notice though, not many Excelsior players thrusted forward for that free kick.
And this one finds Malik Buckner. He doesn't have the numbers advantage, but will try to use his skill. Goes to ground now, but referee Perry was right on the spot, and he said no free kick. This one played over the top to Kimarley Scott. Kimarley Scott is through on goal, and a brilliant tackle coming in. Talk about last-ditch defending. Donald Stewart taking that one off the toe of Kimarley Scott.
Yeah,
keeps it to 0-0.
It was an excellent run in behind from Kimarley Scott yet again, but Donald Stewart stuck with it all the way and didn't allow the marksman, that is Kimarley Scott, to get a shot on target. In swinging corner coming up for Excelsior. Alexi Perry just making sure that the ball is in the quadrant before Terrence Williams delivers his corner kick. Every inch matters in a game of this magnitude.
Corner kick comes in to the back post. It's headed out of play though, and it's a Jamaica College goal kick. Kevin Salmon, a man who can certainly find the back of the net for Excelsior. Excelsior tried to come forward. JC equal to it. Win it back easily. It's Jamoy Dennis on that far side. Bundled over. It's a free kick to JC. A couple of errant passes there from Dante Logan for JC. JC win it back. Here's Logan again.
Okay, it seems as if Jamaica College have switched back their fullbacks. So that change didn't last too long.
Jamaica College back on it. It's Jamon Lyle. No space though to get through. Howell plays that one to Dennis. Back inside to Jamon Lyle. Crowded out though. Double team Jamon Lyle. Stays down in frustration. And Logan can't keep that one in play. It's a throw into Excelsior.
Yeah, Lyle trying to do it all on his own for Jamaica College. Long throw coming up for Excelsior once more through Shamari Chambers.
Does these long throws to good effect, Shamari Chambers, and it's into the mixer again. And the shot coming in from the rebound is going to be way over.
Yeah, difficult technique once more. Terrence Williams on that occasion. Always difficult to get your body over the ball as you're trying to strike it.
Jamaica College trying to be calm and playing out from the back. Excelsior though pressing, winning it back. They lose it momentarily, Excelsior. And then it's last touched by an Excelsior player. It's a JC throw.
Yeah, and if you're wondering why Jamaica College have been going long so often from their goal kicks, from any sort of deep build-up phase, it's because that's the pressure that Excelsior put on them practically every time. Hasn't been allowing them to play out comfortably at any moment in time.
Here's Malik Buckner, skips by one defender, finds Jabari Howell. Jabari Howell with a cross across the face of goal. Shot comes in, but deflection takes it away. That was some good build-up play from Jamaica College. Good defending though by Excelsior. Now they can come away, Excelsior.
Dante Logan, the JC skipper, not allowing Excelsior to build through the lines there.
Shamari Chambers launching that one in from the throw-in, and strike is taken on. It wasn't a million miles away though. Kivan Salmon, we know he likes to unleash them from distance.
And certainly has the quality to find the back of the net from there as well. As JC once again decide to play it short but give it up once more.
And this is an opportunity for Kimberly Scott, who makes no mistake. 1-0 Excelsior. The Eagles are flying inside the National Stadium.
JC time and time again have been forced to play along. They've come out in this second half and decided to put the ball down and try and play a bit from around the back. We just spoke about the danger. We just saw the danger of doing that against this Excelsior team. And it's the worst possible play you could have wanted that ball to fall to once it broke for Excelsior. And Kimberly Scott moves on to number 20 for the season. JC, the architects of their own demise, as they play out and give Excelsior a goal. Not that man. Not that man, Kimberly Scott. He's as clinical as they come. And that goal has given Excelsior the lead in the Manning Cup final. How will Jamaica College respond?
The Jamaica College technical staff infuriated. Not the way you want to concede a goal in the final. Jamaica College look for an instant reply. Player goes down right inside the box. No foul though. Here's Dejoni Thompson playing it forward. Jabari Howell unleashes a shot from the left foot. Still not out of danger yet. And a shot comes in on the half volley. The flag was up though on this near side.
JC, for the entirety of the first half, they noticed, they knew the threat of Excelsior and their press. They knew how relentless they were. After a first half of not being able to play the ball comfortably, they decided to take that risk. They decided to start playing out from the back. And sticking to that ethos has cost them dearly in this final.
Will it cost them the Manning Cup title? Right now, Excelsior have one hand on the trophy. And they'll be looking to snatch it and take it right across the road. Mountain View Avenue, getting ready to celebrate. This game is far from over though. Here come Excelsior again. Crowd support behind them now, buoyant for Excelsior. The cross is a tame one, taken by Machel Dennis. Launch forward for an early counter from Jamaica College. Here's Dennis. Dennis still on it, skipping by the challenges. Malik Buckner. Excelsior have numbers back though. Here's Jabari Howell. Lining one up from distance is Jabari Howell. And he's appealing for a corner kick. But he's not going to get it.
Yeah, on his weaker left side. Always going to be quite a task to beat Jamari Gordon from there. Especially with an effort from that. Skewing wide in the end. And Machel Dennis, the Jamaica College custodian, taking a seat as JC needs to get some words in with their players. All of the coaching staff urging the players to come over to the bench.
And it's going to be some stern words, Leger. As I said, you don't want to concede at all, but conceding the way Jamaica College did, I'm sure will be a point of consternation for the technical staff. We're going to see it again.
But in these instances, I have to say, I really have to say it, I'm putting this one down to the coaching staff as a matter of fact, because they came out with a game plan. They would have played Excelsior in the quarter-final round. They would have struggled to play out in that game. They came with the game plan in this first half and said, okay, we're not going to play into their hands. In this second half, they've switched things around. They've tried to start playing their natural game once more when it was evident that their natural game was not going to be the solution in this current game state. They've trusted their players and the players have not repaid their trust, but it was a grave mistake in my estimation from the JC coaching staff.
Credit must be given to Keon Broderick and his staff. They almost forced Jamaica College into their trap. And of course, you figure, Leger, that Davian Ferguson, Raymond Watson thought the long ball was just not being executed well enough in the first half and decided to try to start to build up from the back. And that's largely down to how Excelsior have dealt with Jamaica College defensively in the first half, frustrating them for large portions of the game as JC tried to come forward now again through Berger. This defensive header trapped down by Dejoni Thompson.
Yeah, you are right that Excelsior have come out in this game and they've had a very pure game plan in terms of what they want to do defensively. The press has been high, it has been effective. It It has forced Jamaica College into playing long. JC always wary of that threat, yes. Excelsior dealt with those long passes from JC very well. It almost forced the hand of Jamaica College to try and play a way they knew would be extremely risky. And the risk has turned into something quite damning for JC as they now trail in this final.
And you just wonder how long before Coach Watson, Coach Ferguson turn to their bench. As we see Jamoy Dennis just can't get any room though to operate. Does win a foul, much to the dismay of Coach Broderick. They've switched sides now. Here's Malik Buckner for Jamaica College. Buckner lines one up on his left boot. Goalkeeper Jamari Gordon equal to it, diving away to his right.
Yeah,
in the end, it's an easy save.
He made that save look very comfortable. Plucked that one out of the night sky. Good work from Buckner to make the space, and it was heading on target. Really good work, I must say, from Excelsior's number one. JC do have several options on the bench to change this game, however. Their second leading goal scorer, Keshawn Lee Chin, one of those players. He can add something a bit different, a pure number 9. A fox in the box type, similar to what we see from Kimarley Scott. How long will it take? How long will it be until they ring the changes?
Come Excelsior with another cross. And a shot coming in. The rebound is there for the taking. A sliding tackle coming in. And a player goes down inside the box. The fans were excited, appealing for a penalty, the Excelsior fans. None awarded by referee Perry. And Kimarley Scott there helping the Jamaica College player back to his feet. You see that ball came across, it was white on the end of it. Should have done better, one should argue. And that is the tackle that came in from Allen, which was dangerous, and this is danger now for Excelsior. They dealt with it well in the end though.
And JC trying to turn the screw here against this Excelsior defense, playing at a much quicker tempo now. They know that they need to get back into this game sooner rather than later.
In swinging corner coming in for Jamaica College. Flicked up and over into touch. It's another JC corner kick from the opposite side. Oh, how they'd love to turn one of these corners into a goal, Jamaica College, and get back on level terms. So this one is going to be an outswinger. Comes across, it's met by a Jamaica College head, but looks like Dwayne Berger cannot direct it on target. Goal kick Excelsior.
And those goal kicks will be like gold to this Excelsior team.
Let's go, Josie!
Every passing minute more and more agonizing for Jamaica College as they seek an equalizer. But it's Excelsior now in possession. They do some damage, but the pass is wayward though. Demario White giving a thumbs up for the thinking, but not for the execution. Pressure being applied there by Excelsior. Shamari Chambers, who comes and blasts it into touch.
Yeah, maybe a little bit more calm needed there from Shamari Chambers, but taking no chances. And as JC search for this equalizer, there is a feeling that the game might be a little bit stretched as Machel Dennis fails to find his fullback or his left winger once more with one of those goal kicks. JC not risking any more short passes around the back anymore.
Once bitten. This might be an opportunity for Dennis to work something for Jamaica College. There are two defenders watching him though. And I think that's where you have to give the Excelsior coaching staff a lot of credit. Jamoy Dennis has not seen any daylight. Has not had the opportunity to work any angles. And so too Jabari Howell. They've been nullified so far. Gonna see Howell on it now. Switches the wings, does Howell. See what Jamon Lyle can serve up from the left side. Tries to go by his defender, does Jamon Lyle. Sees another defender come across. Slides it into the box. And it's deflected into touch. It's a corner kick, JC.
But they'll be making a change before they can take this corner kick. Looks as if that's the end for Malik Buckner. And Gervier Grant will be the one making his entrance. So opting for width down this right hand side are JC.
Grant makes his entry. I wondered if it would have been Keshawn Lee Chin. Grant preferred Malik Buckner, who really gave a workmanlike performance for Jamaica College in his, it's about 70 minutes. Comes a corner kick coming in now. Headed back into touch. Another corner to JC.
Excelsior custodian Jamar Gordon calling for a bit of assistance. Not quite sure this is the best time right before defending a corner kick. Of course, we don't want his players to be caught a bit cold. Time being taken away before they get a chance to defend this.
Yeah, we're going to have another look at the goal that separates these two teams. Again, trying to play out from the back. Jamaica College, and when you give Kimarley Scott that type of an opportunity, he's not going to say no. Spoke about it being the season for giving Leger, a gift served up on a platter, and Kimarley Scott says thank you very much. 1-0 Excelsior.
Yeah, and it was such a good finish as well. Not often Dejoni Thompson is caught out in those positions in central areas. It was JC actually trying to employ their usual tactic of inverting one or even two of their fullbacks into central areas to try and aid in build-up. But that time, Excelsior were alive to the situation, pressed him well, and converted on their high turnover.
Yeah, just about a little under 20 minutes now for JC. Not sure what the plan was there from Lyle. Just getting a little bit frustrated now, this Jamaica College team. You can sense it. You can feel it in the atmosphere. It's palpable. The longer this stays 1-0 in favour of Excelsior, is the more angst will build up in that JC technical area, and it will transition to the field of play as well. Desperately want to get back in this, the 31-time champions. Donald Stewart and Jamon Lyle showing interest in this free kick. Stewart, though, backing away. It's Lyle who will play this one into the box. It's floated over. Still not dealt with by Excelsior. Now the goalkeeper, Jamari Gordon, comes to collect. Booted way upfield, and DeJohnny Thompson misjudges it, but has enough room to just head it back to his goalkeeper. Thompson back on it. Trying to find the run of Berger. Doesn't, and then Thompson commits a foul.
One of the most experienced players in this Jamaica College setup, DeJohnny Thompson, has been a starting player for the past 3 seasons. As Excelsior, of course, are going to take some time over these set pieces as they launch this one forward.
Damarley Williams with a strike from the left foot. Just go over the top though. And I think it's fair to say Dennis had it covered in goal for JC. Oh, that's well taken from Jamon Lyle. And he plays it through. Ball comes across. That was an opportunity for the substitute, Gervier Grant, but he couldn't make connection.
Yeah, that one was just a touch behind him. Excellently done from Jamoy Dennis. It was down the left-hand side, releasing Berger, who eventually got that crossing, but I think he just didn't get it under his control quickly enough. And now Michelle Dennis going down for one of those tactical timeouts, but the Jamaica College players incensed with him for that. And Jamaica College will be making a change in short order. It will be DeJohnny Thompson, who is cutting a very frustrated figure, making his way up for the aforementioned Keshawn Lee Chin.
Yeah, so finally Lee Chin will make his entrance. I think Thompson showing the effort for Jamaica College, but in the last few minutes just showing the propensity to give the ball away, DeJohnny Thompson, and now he's being replaced. It's a defensive player, Leger, being replaced by an attacker. Obviously, even a blind man could see that the intent is clear from Jamaica College. They're going to go all out now, hammer and tongs, in trying to get this equalizer.
Yeah, now it will be interesting to see as well how Jamaica College will set up going forward, having taken off one of their fullbacks. Will a player drop back into that area, or will it be a through at the back scenario for Jamaica College? And it seems as if it will be a through at the back scenario.
So a change of shape as Jamaica College go in search of an equalizer. Grant heads that one up. Here's Lee Chin. Substitute doesn't manage to keep that one in though. Assistant was right there.
It looks as if it will be a dual role for Gervier Grant. He's going to be holding that width on the right hand side, but will be tasked with marauding up and down that line as JC switches through at the back system.
Dante Logan finding Jabari Howell, who's finding some space here on the left side. Cuts it back. Finds a teammate up front. Cross comes across. Agonizingly close for Jamaica College. The frustration evident. The substitute, Keshawn Lee Chin, just lurking, but cannot turn it into the net. And Jamon Lyle visibly angered after that particular attempt.
Yeah, it was very good play from JC down this left-hand side. Good pass played through, and Lyle poked this one across. It almost seemed as if he was just a tad bit behind Keshawn Lee Chin. And Jamari Gordon made himself big, impeded the play just a bit, paid the price for it. And the scoreline after all of that remains Excelsior 1, Jamaica College 0.
Yeah, we see though Leger, Dennis switching, coming inside, allowing Howell to play on the outside, finding some space there, combining with good effect with Jamon Lyle. That's two of course, Jamaica College's better players in attack, finding some joy on that left-hand side. And the substitute, Keshawn Lee Chin, getting on the end of it. That will give the coaching staff some amount of optimism. But again, the longer it stays 1-0 in favor of Excelsior, the more the anxiety will grow for Jamaica College. Just over 10 minutes for the Dark Blues. That 10 minutes will seem like it's gonna fly by for them, but for Excelsior it will seem like an eternity. The ball played forward, and that challenge is probably going to be punished.
Jamoy Dennis escapes without any sort of booking, but it was a very late challenge.
Yeah, I thought for sure he would have gone into the referee's book. Frustration, you know, Leger.
Excelsior once more taking their time over this free kick.
Just hesitating on it a bit, Jamaica College at the back, allowing Excelsior a sniff, and now they're back in possession, Excelsior. JC win a foul though.
And Damarley Williams saying that he was the one who was on the end of contact, but foul certainly going the way of Jamaica College there. Devontae Allen hasn't quite had the same type of game and impact that he had in the semi-final. Excelsior have made certain of that.
You can't have too many complaints about that one, Damarley Williams. Here's Grant, the substitute. Play that one inside for the striker, but an errant pass. Jamaica College back on it. Son played out to the left side. Here comes JC. That ball played in. Is into a dangerous area. Good defending from Excelsior. Taken quickly by Jamaica College. Strike comes in. It goes wide. Again, Lyle and Howell, that combination is what JC is looking to unlock this Excelsior defense, Leger.
Yeah, they will be critical actually if they are going to get a goal in this game and get back in it.
Allen picks out Jabari Howell. Howell finds Keshawn Lee Chin. Lee Chin trying to find Dwayne Berger. There's Jamoy Dennis now on the right side this time. Cuts in. Well guarded. Excelsior defense standing like a wall in front of that goal, and Jamaica College again forced to go for a prayer. Jamari Gordon is going to take as much time as he wants. There's Grant. Dennis back to Grant. Grant finds Allen. Allen trying to pick out the run of Berger. Comes out to Dennis. Dennis skips inside. Not cleared well by Excelsior. Grant serves it up. Mistake by the goalkeeper. And now another shot coming in. And it's over the bar from Jamon Lyle.
Yeah, Excelsior defense was certainly at 6s and 7s there. Jamaica College knocking ferociously at the door, and Jamon Lyle trying to place it into the roof of the net. Lent back once more. Saved Excelsior's blushes. And they'll make a change now. A defensive one.
As expected, Shaquan White is going to make way for Kevin Deacon. White is embraced by his teammates on the bench. Good performance from him. His night is over. He'll hope that he did enough to help his team get across the line. Jamaica College will have something to say in these final few minutes. Dwayne Berger has had precious little to feed on. Again taken off it. Free kick to Jamaica College. They waste no time. Jamoy Dennis on this near side. Jaheim Hall. Pass it to his centre-back partner. Stewart. It's launched over the top now. Flicked on from Dwayne Berger. Keeper has left the goal gaping. But Jamaica College can't take advantage. Jamari Gordon is down.
Yeah, once more. And he's been playing a bit nervously, I would say, the past few minutes. Thought he would have surely claimed this one, opted for the punch. JC unable to capitalize once again. And Excelsior holding on at this point, as their fans now in uproar, feverishly anticipating possibly a first Manning Cup title in 21 years.
Here's Jamoy Dennis trying to find Jamon Lyle. Booted forward by Excelsior. JC will want to keep the pressure on. So free kick is going to be awarded in favor of Excelsior. Referee just waving Donald Stewart away. Here it is again.
Unnecessary challenge, you know. Was going nowhere, Demario White.
They're just bundling him over, Donald Stewart. And now White will receive treatment. Pretty sure referee Perry will be keeping an eye on his stopwatch as well, just to ensure that the requisite time is added back at the end. Excelsior fans, they feel like the trophy is heading to Mountain View Avenue, and they're full of voice now as The music blasts out over the public address system here inside the National Stadium. Just a few minutes separating Excelsior and an 8th Manning Cup title and a first in over 2 decades. Destiny awaits. Jamaica College looking to stop that almost inevitable march now from Excelsior to title success. What will the boys from Old Hope Road be able to pull out, if anything, in these final couple of minutes plus? The answer is not too far away.
Excelsior pushing almost no one forward as they prepare to take this free kick. A defensive line of 6 staying back, as I'm sure that Marley Williams will go for goal here. Repelled.
Keshawn Leachin tries to find Dennis, as ever though. Chambers alert to the danger. There are the Excelsior supporters in the grandstand. Free kick, Excelsior. And again, you can see the frustration from Jamoy Dennis. Rajon Small to take this free kick for Excelsior. It's a searching free kick. Machel Dennis comes forward to claim. Boots it upfield immediately. Chambers wins it back though for Excelsior. Free kick to Jamaica College.
Precious little time left in this one. It looks as if we're going to get 8 minutes of stoppage time. There have been quite a few stoppages.
Marley Williams boots this one long, trying to give Kivan Salmon something to chase. But more importantly, buying precious time for Excelsior. And it's going to be a throw into Excelsior. They will be in no hurry to take this throw in. Fans expectant. Skips past one, skips past two. Cross coming in, but it actually went over the line, and it's a goal kick, JC. There's Grant on it. Leachin making the run, but that one played just a little bit too far ahead of him. It's a throw into JC. Is there any more jeopardy in this? Jamaica College. Keshawn Leachin and Grant, though, not on the same page. Excelsior supporters on their feet.
It's been quite some time since they've experienced this.
None of the players know what this feels like. Williams blasting that one from distance. Yeah, last chance saloon time coming up for Jamaica College, but they lose out in the middle of the park, and the ball is launched forward to Deacon. Deacon tries to go by his marker. Unsuccessful.
But so too the pass from Jaheim Hall.
Yeah, could have spent some more time on that one, Jaheim Hall. Here's a previous play. Jamoy Dennis couldn't thread it through. The Excelsior defense has been resolute all game long. Lyle. One back by Chambers. Terrence Williams. Back to Chambers, back to Williams. Neat little 1-2 for Excelsior. Chambers winning that header. There's Lyle again. Plays this one forward to the left side. Dennis. A brilliant tackle coming in.
It's Kimarley Scott now operating at right back. Top-notch challenge coming in from the man who is currently the match winner for Excelsior.
JC launching it forward. Lee Chin though all on his own on an island, not able to make any connection. And we're into that 8 minutes added time. A little over 3 minutes having elapsed. Throw into Excelsior on the far side. They're going to use up every second now, the Excelsior Eagles. And this is the wrong end of the pitch if you're a Jamaica College supporter.
Terrence Williams trying to keep it in the corner, unable to do so, and it's a Jamaica College throw. Still being harried by Kivan Salmon. Still no centre forward to occupy those Excelsior defenders from JC. All of their players drawn towards the ball, and it has come at a poor time for JC. They've needed that number 9 today, and it hasn't been there. Excelsior had a number 9, and he has delivered.
Ball played over the top, and I think that may have struck an arm accidentally. Gonna be a throw in to Excelsior.
Shamari Chambers once more preparing to take a long one.
Wants to launch this one right to that 6-yard box area. Comes over, Jamaica College goalkeeper in no man's land. Excelsior make it 2, and that is the Manning Cup title. It's gonna return to Mountain View Avenue for the first time in 21 years. Excelsior will taste success in urban area schoolboy football.
Wow, just wow. Came into the season unheralded, came into the season not the pick of the bunch for many people. They have toiled, they have hurried, they have shown quality at every step when it matters most. And this Excelsior team, they've done it. They've finally done it. Shamari Chambers, another long throw. And it was a deft touch. A really deft touch. But it cannot be understated just how important that touch is from Kivan Salmon. Excelsior 2-0 up. And they are surely headed to their 8th and most importantly their first Manning Cup title in 21 years. What a moment. We're minutes away now, moments.
Certainly, we're just anticipating that final whistle from referee Alexi Perry. Machel Dennis will be kicking himself after allowing that one to find the back of the net. Jamaica College perhaps with one last opportunity. And referee Perry, not yet, as the Excelsior players are just beginning to anticipate the celebration. And that is the final whistle. Excelsior are Manning Cup champions 2025. They've toiled, they've shown resistance, they've shown grit. The tactical acumen of Keon Broderick and his men has shot through. The Eagles are soaring in the National Stadium. It's Manning Cup title number 8 for Excelsior. Mountain View Avenue has erupted into raptures.
What a moment, especially against this team in Jamaica College. Time and time again, they have been the bane of Excelsior in big moments. All the way back to the 2013 semi-final. The semi-final of the Walker Cup a couple of years ago. They even beat them this very season in the quarter-final round. But Excelsior have provided one of the big, you can call it an upset, but one of the big moments in Manning Cup history, at least in this decade. What a victory, what a performance. They deserve it. The Fame title is going to Mountain View Avenue. The Fame title is going to the Eagles. And Jordan, they have deserved it every step of the way. What a victory.
Better team on the night, Excelsior. The Eagles deserve to soar, it must be said. They anticipated everything Jamaica College was trying to do. This vaunted Jamaica College attack was absolutely repelled by an Excelsior team well drilled, well coached, and plans well executed. It must be said, Jamaica College didn't help themselves. Excelsior walk away 2-0 winners. Here are the full-time highlights. And early on it was Jamaica College in the first half providing the pressure. Jamon Lyle with that particular attempt. And then we saw Malik Buckner getting in on the act. Excelsior with some opportunities of their own. Kimarley Scott couldn't direct that one goalward. Talked about the pressure being applied by Jamaica College early. And Dwayne Berger, that one just too quickly coming back to him, and he couldn't guide it back on target. Malik Buckner was always in the game. That was a very good ball across from Jamon Lyle. A slight deflection though, perhaps just doing for Jabari Howell. Couldn't direct it goalward. Lyle showing his creativity. That Jamon Dennis attempt looked like it was gonna fall there for Berger right as he was just about to tuck it home. An excellent clearance, and it remained 0-0. Lyle couldn't find the target from that attempt outside the box. Excelsior with an opportunity of their own. White finding Terrence Williams, but Williams' shot tame in the end. It was a defensive header. This is second half action now. that almost caught Dennis out. And this is the moment Excelsior took the lead. Kimarley Scott, as ever, on the doorstep to take advantage of a defensive blunder. It's a season when gifts are handed out, and that one was wrapped and bow-tied for Kimarley Scott, who made no mistake from point-blank range to put Excelsior 1-0 up. And for a long period it looked like that would have been the goal that did it for Excelsior. That was an attempt from Malik Buckner that was held on to by Jamari Gordon, and Jamon Lyle trying to create something for his team, not able to do so from that one. This is a nervous moment from Gordon in goal for Excelsior, and then Lyle just leaning back as he did a couple of times throughout the game. And then Mashal Dennis leaving his line for Jamaica College, not making any contact, leaving the goal wide open, and right at the end Excelsior getting the second goal and erupted into raptures. At full time it was 11 attempts for Excelsior, 18 for Jamaica College, 3 on target for both teams, and the crucial stat at the top though, 2 finding the net for Excelsior. 22 fouls split evenly for both teams, 2 yellow cards for Jamaica College, no red cards, 15 corner kicks, 10 of them went to JC. JC won the possession stats, but the only stat that matters, 2-0 to Excelsior, Manning Cup trophy returning to Mountain View Avenue, and Janae will take it away. Janae, who do you have for us?
Thank you, Jordan, and now I'm joined by the head coach of Jamaica College, Coach Raymond Watson. Now, Coach, when I was watching the match, I realized that you guys channel a lot of your play through young Jamoy Dennis, but Excelsior always seems to have an answer. Do you think you took too long to change that tactic?
No, he was always going by whosoever they sent to him. I thought he didn't get enough support in terms of from his teammates. We actually asked that when he was on the ball, he also got support, but the support was lacking.
I saw your attacking unit doing all they could to try and get the ball in the back of the net. But as I speak about your defenders, I saw you speaking to them on the sideline, especially after the first goal. What were you saying to them?
Definitely to keep their heads and let's keep playing and play forward. Let's go back to basics. And we were trying to play a lot of long balls. Sometimes we'll ask them to mix it up, but I guess one at a time they couldn't hear me. Definitely could not hear me.
Yes, the vibes were immaculate in the stadium today, but for the future of Jamaica College, what can we expect from your football program?
Jamaica College program is very big in it. It continues. It was before me and it will be after me.
All right, thank you, Coach. All the best for the rest of your endeavors.
Thank you very much and congratulations, Excelsior.
Thank you. And now we welcome the head coach of Excelsior High, Coach Keon Broderick. Yesterday we spoke to him on pitch side, and today he's here, the winner of the Manning Cup Finals. Now, Coach, we talked about the attacking three all season, but your defensive unit, they put up a wall that was so hard for Jamaica College to break down. How reliant were you on your defensive unit for showing up today?
I mean, we knew all season long they were doing really well. They were solid, they were compact, they were organized, and we asked them for a strong defensive performance today, and they gave us everything that they had, every single player. One of my philosophy, as I said on Thursday, 11 man defend, 11 man attack. And when you look at Kimarley Scott, who was the leading goal scorer last year, and he's going to be the Golden Boot winner this year, he was one of the players who came back at right back and was making some crucial interception, some crucial tackles, and that's what we're all about at Excelsior. I want to give thanks first and foremost to the Almighty. He's a big part of this journey. Thanks to Carl Downer, who is such an inspirational manager, who is such a godly man, and he ensures that everything we do, we have God within us. You understand me? He also emphasized that where there is unity, God commands a blessing. And for many times in my first season at Excelsior, we did not have any unity. And then this man, Sambo, yes, these persons, Dejan Dixo, Carl Downer, Timeria, Brian, Jan Clark, they stood and we created unity. They believed in me
when the previous management did not believe in me. They believe in me. Hallelujah. And this is where we are now. I want to encourage every Excelsiorian, past students and current students, let's get together. Let's lift this noble institution. There are so many talented individuals at Excelsior. I am a living testimony. I'm a past student of Excelsior High School, and I want everybody to come together and to unite and give the students a chance to become the best members of society that they can.
Well, Coach, now it's time for you to go and enjoy your win with the boys. Congratulations to you and the whole Excelsior family, and congratulations again. Soak it up.
Biggest institution.
Guys.
All right, so time for the top striker, sponsored by Burt's, and it's none other than Kimarley Scott, Excelsior's number 9. And this was his goal in this final, the crucial goal to give Excelsior the lead, and taking advantage of some defensive frailties for Jamaica College. As ever, number 9, Kimarley Scott, on the doorstep, making no mistake in front of the goal, and he is your top striker for today, sponsored by Burt's Auto Parts. So, the vuvuzelas, the cheers, and the flags will wave long into the night here at the National Stadium as Excelsior celebrate an 8th Manning Cup success, their first in 21 years, a 2-0 win over Jamaica College, the 31-time champions here at the National Stadium. Not everyone would have predicted this when the season started, but Excelsior showed signs right throughout. And of course, we know it's a season that had been interrupted for over a month after the passage of Hurricane Melissa. And once it got back on track, the Eagles of Excelsior began to soar yet again, and they soared right into the final. Jamaica College would have been expectant. Their fans would have been waiting to erupt into jubilation, but not so on the night. It is Keon Broderick and his men who have earned the right to celebrate. And I tell you what, it's a deserved celebration for the entire coaching staff and the players of Excelsior. Now we're going to move shortly into the presentation. As you can see there, the Excelsior players still celebrating. Here are the presentations now. Referees first up. Alexi Perry, I think, will be quite happy with how he acquitted himself in the final. He and his team, it's safe to say, just keeping a close eye on the contest throughout and ensuring they did not play a starring role. It was the players who took center stage. Okita Nicholson was the 4th official, and I think ensured that this was a spectacle worth watching. Not too many stoppages. We saw free-flowing football. Everything you want to see in a final. Excelsior capitalizing on the inevitable mistakes. Jamaica College unable to find a way through what it must be said was a resolute Excelsior defense. So the presentations now, the top goal scorer in all of the competition, Sean Layton of Mona High. He had over 20 goals, scored his 27th in the Walker Cup final. I think he had about 25 or 26 in the Manning Cup. Prolific. The number 13, the captain for Mona High. That's Kimberly Scott. I think no one could argue with him being referred to as the most valuable player in this final. Ultimately, I think his goal opened up proceedings. His goal lifted the Excelsior team in the 57th minute. They went on to get a second. Presentation to Jamaica College's Dante Logan.
It's a cause that has animated the JSC's market research competition since its inception in 2000.
That's Devontae Allen.
And 2, according to JSC's
JC midfielder. Yeah, despite collecting awards, obviously disappointed that he won't be lifting the big one. Yeah, you'd expect to see and hear Kimberly Scott's name being called quite a bit here. Keon Broderick, top coach, guiding his Excelsior team to the ultimate crown. So Jamaica College second best, And it shows on the faces of the players that this was not their expectation coming into this final. Obviously, anytime you make it to a final, you're going to want to win, but especially so when you're Jamaica College, a team that's so used to winning, a team that's not used to second best. This one will sting for Jamaica College, especially because they'll know that in large part they contributed to their own demise, a defensive mistake leading to the first goal, and then one can say a misjudgment from their goalkeeper leading to the second. And by that time the game was dead and buried, and Excelsior knew that they would be lifting the title. Nevertheless, it must be said, kudos to Jamaica College for a very good season. Some quality performers in that Jamaica College lineup. We're looking at some of those faces now. And as we've said right throughout, some national youth players as well being represented. The disappointment will be there now, but you hope that these players will use it as a motivation going forward. But tonight, it's Excelsior's moment. They've earned that moment, this Excelsior team. And you'd excuse them for being a little bit overzealous, a little bit anxious in wanting to celebrate. Organizers just trying to get everything together before they get to hoist the trophy. There's just a President Keith Wellington. He's handing out the mementos now to all the Excelsior players. Opportunities for some photos and videos which will keep these memories alive for these Excelsior players. Yeah, everyone, I think, earning the right to be able to celebrate. I think the just not knowing what to do with the quote-unquote champagne which will be popped. Replica champagne. Yeah, you'll still hear the music blaring in the background, the vuvuzelas going, the drum beats continue, the dancing has continued in the stands as well. The Excelsior supporters came out and they were not necessarily the largest in number, but they were certainly well heard throughout the contest. Coach Keon Broderick, it must be said, is going to be getting major kudos after this. He's a coach who's been rising, who's been coming to prominence in recent years, and now he has the Manning Cup title to back it up. Sees the Excelsior support staff as well. Can see their principal in the background there. Everyone having the opportunity to share in this success, and rightly so. Only 11 players on the field at any one time, but several others contributing to the success. Several who you don't see now getting their moment, getting their time under the lights. Yeah, just checking to see if the confetti is ready. The Excelsior team getting ready to celebrate now. Manning Cup champions 2025. Yes, the Marley Williams in the foreground, Kimarley Scott there, left of picture. Perhaps an unsung hero, Shamari Chambers. Defended well for the Excelsior team. Wisinko through their brand Water, making this presentation to the Excelsior team. $500,000 for winning Urban Area's ultimate crown in schoolboy football. And this one, courtesy of the Intersecondary School Sports Association, ISSA. The Excelsior principal proudly holds this aloft. And the photos being taken. Yeah, it's cliche. Say it's a season of trials. Every season has its trials. This one had specific challenges. It'll be remembered for the season, which was interrupted by Hurricane Melissa. But in the end, it got back on track and it gave the opportunity for a new champion to be crowned. And for the 8th time in the history of this competition, Excelsior are champions of the ISSA Manning Cup. And they will celebrate long into the night, this Excelsior team. There they are. Now their fans get to share in that success, get to share in the jubilation, the pride, the honor of Excelsior, the honor of the Eagles, a school that's been on the rise in all schoolboy sport. This one is a big one though. And congratulations to Excelsior for 2025. That's going to do it for our coverage of the ISSA Manning Cup, the final match in our doubleheader for this evening. Thank you so much to Gerard Morris-Seeley, who brought you the opening match, Lige Williams, producer Philip Riley, and all the rest of the hardworking production and technical team. I'm Jordan Fort signing out for now. Join us tomorrow when we'll have the final of the ISSA Ben Francis Cup at 3 p.m. and the Da Costa Cup at 6 p.m. Bye-bye for now.